If you have been a wife who gave up your career to stay at home and raise children and run the household, be extra diligent upon divorce, especially if the finances are primarily in control of your husband. Many times, the husbands in control of the money will use that leverage to excessively bring motions in court or force their wife into bringing court motions so that she runs out of money to fight and is forced to settle for less than half of the marital property. This is what happened to me and why I'm so passionate to team up with Second Saturday to educate other women on how to avoid the pitfalls I experienced, because I completely trusted my former husband and never imagined that he would treat me as anything but equal upon divorce after my years of dedicated service to the marriage and raising our 4 children. After a 25-year marriage and 4 children, 3 with special needs, I was forced to settle for hardly any of the community property, and much less than what my attorneys were actually paid for representing me. My former husband was in control of almost all of the finances during our marriage. Upon divorce, I didn't even know how much we created together until his final income disclosure that was filed a month before the divorce was final. I didn't think to put aside money before we talked about the divorce. I didn't even have enough money in my possession to pay for a retainer fee to hire my attorney. Very early on in the divorce process, I had to bring an action and go to court to get access to money to live on because my former husband canceled my credit cards and access to our joint bank accounts. After forcing an expensive court action and settling on the court steps at the last minute, he finally agreed to give me money for living expenses. My monthly stipend, though, was almost a quarter of what the system said I was entitled to for alimony after such a long-term marriage. For the next 4 years, I had to run to court numerous times for enforcement of court orders, his unilateral sale of properties that we purchased during the marriage, to stop him from renting out the home as an Airbnb the week that I was not in the home pursuant to a nesting agreement, to purchase the family home because he refused to accept my offer to buy it, and even to protect our children and prevent him from coming back to the home when he had COVID at the very beginning of the pandemic, when there was so much uncertainty about the illness and its effects. My former husband used the court system to have me run through finances because he knew he was in control of millions of dollars and he could fight in court indefinitely, and I would eventually accrue too much debt and have to give up fighting for my half of the property that we acquired and created during the marriage. There are many things a woman should know before divorce and some great practical strategies that should be implemented before any discussion about divorce. Join us for our next Second Saturday so that we can share some of this insight with you to make your uncoupling process easier. Knowledge is power. Be informed.